Well, good morning and welcome to the AM News here on the AM Show. My name is Enimoa Enim Ado. Our very first story this morning, 2 senior police officers who attempted to arrest Medina MP Francis Xavier Sosu are expected to appear before the Privileges Committee of Parliament. This follows a petition by Mr. Sosu in which he cited the Greater Accra Regional Police Operations Commander ACP Isaac Kojo Asante and ACP Eric Winfall, the Adenta Abokobi Police Divisional Commander, for contempt of Parliament. There's a lot more in this report.
The petition, standing in the name of MP for Medina Francis Xavier Sosu, wants the House to probe the 2 senior officers over their conduct during a demonstration he led in his constituency. But even before the House could make a determination on the petition, the Deputy Majority Leader, Alexander Afenyo-Makin, on a point of order, quizzed the MP on whether there was an official notification to the Speaker before the issue was brought up for consideration. The move to arrest the motion angered some minority MPs, including the Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu. Listen to some of the arguments advanced by both sides of the House.
Just a clarification. The provision there is clear that provided he has previously notified Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, he didn't add that to his submission to the effect that he has previously notified you of this application. I only wanted to be sure that this has been so done, because Mr. Speaker, there was a similar application during your temporary absence, and objection came from the Deputy Minority Leader.
You didn't even avail yourself for conclave. You just came in. Habib was holding the fort for all of you. That's what I'm saying. Don't spoil the temperature here.
Speaker, you don't answer for Speaker. I am called from Mr. Speaker, and you want to answer for Mr. Speaker. I am only asking because that was your concern.
The Speaker, sensing an escalation of tempest, intervened and called the House to order, in which he asked the MPs to rise above pettiness.
Let me emphasize that matters of contempt of Parliament or members of Parliament or staff of Parliament are serious matters. Very, very serious matters. These are the building blocks of democracy. If we allow that to be eroded, we have no legs to stand on. You don't joke with that. You are not just members of Parliament. You are leaders. And if leaders cannot even take care of their constituents, what is your value? They have given all their destiny to you to lead them. Lead them to have better lives. Protect us. Defend us. Care for us. Make sure we enjoy the fundamental human rights and freedoms that are guaranteed in the Constitution, so that we can exercise our potential to the fullest. You have that responsibility, and you have to discharge it. That is why you are given special rights. So when we are dealing with contempt, it's not one of those issues that you can toy with. And I take a serious view of it. I am the one to determine. If I'm not notified, I will say so. I will hold the person and say, you are out of order. Go back and do the proper thing.
With calm setting in, Mr. Sosu was given the floor to present his petition and narrated how he fled home for fear of being arrested by the police.
The police officers under the command of the said ACP Isaac Kojo Asante, the Regional Operations Commander, and Eric Winfall, the Divisional Commander of Adenta Abokobi, led their boys to manhandle me, their men to manhandle me and virtually held me and humiliated me right in the presence of my constituents with whom we were demanding for better roads. Honorable Speaker, but for the fact that the youth ganged up to rescue me from the hands of the police, they would have just bundled me like a common criminal into their standing vehicle. And Mr. Speaker, when the youth eventually supported.
Meanwhile, the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Alban Bagbin, is incensed over the recent acts of harassment and threats of arrest of some members of Parliament by law enforcement agencies in the country. Sounding a note of caution, Mr. Bagbin warned he will not countenance such acts in the near future.
I myself will be issuing a statement in the near future on what is happening to members of Parliament from both sides of the House. Both sides of the House. I receive complaints. I receive information about how police service, some personnel, pursue members of Parliament from both sides of the House. And I've on a number of occasions intervened to talk to the authorities and to draw their attention to the law. Even sometimes I have to call the Attorney General and Minister for Justice in this matter. So apart from this, I myself had decided to come with a very comprehensive statement on this matter and let people know that members of Parliament have some special rights because of the peculiar nature of the position, the functions, and the duties of the Member of Parliament.
Now, dozens of job seekers pitched camp and spent the entire night in front of the Westport Stadium ahead of Wednesday's screening for the Ghana Immigration Service. The applicants said they decided to spend the night at the gate in order to make it in time for the process. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
It's exactly midnight and I'm in front of the Westport Stadium. The gates have temporarily been closed to the public. There are no lights here, and the street lights that overlook the Wa Airport are not functioning. Simple put, there is total darkness here except the lights for mobile phones or passing vehicles or motorists. However, there are streams of dozens of prospective Ghana Immigration Service applicants here. They are not here to keep vigil, but hope to be recruited into a job that will enable them to make ends meet. Some are standing, chatting among themselves, and others seated on student mattresses with their backs leaned on the stadium gate. They have in their hands piece of paper writing the names of their colleagues for winning the screening exercise. They have already registered 65 persons. They are doing it on their own volition. None of the Immigration Service officers is on site.
Why are you writing names? I'm writing because if you are not in queue, and they will come and just be doing whatever they want to do here. So I'm writing the name, protocol or whatever. So I'm just writing the names for us to be in order, so that we get everything done at the right time.
But who has asked you to come and write the names?
Oh no, it's a voluntary work. Nobody asked me to do it. I'm just doing it for us, for here to be peace.
We're actually doing that to ensure that there is we have foreseen that there is going to be pressure. So we want to make sure that that pressure is not that much, so that when we do this, it will help us reduce the pressure that is going to be here. Other than that, some people are coming from far away places and we have been here. But we wait tomorrow, before you realize, people will just come around anytime they want and they will ignore those of us who have been here early and be using their own list. That's why we are doing this for our own.
They told me they will be passing the night here in the cold and in the open.
This is my address. This is my address. So I'm going to sleep here. I'll sleep here. That's my address. We are here. We are here till they come. We are not going anywhere.
They hope they will be selected legitimately after the exercise.
Oh, we will be picked, inshallah. Inshallah.
We have hope that we'll be picked because we qualify. And then if they will pass through the legal process, in fact, we are all having the assurance that we'll get the job.
Thousands of their colleagues are expected to join them this morning to continue unabated the struggle of trying to see whether luck will sign on them here. At least this is their first step of achieving their lifelong dreams, and every hour spent to make it happen is seen not as a waste but worth it. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Okay, it's time for fact-checking, and today we will put the spotlight on President Akufo-Addo's claims on improvements in the Ghanaian economy during a recent interview on Peace FM. Head of our research desk, Raymond Akwa, has more on these claims and the verdicts in this report.
Let's start with President Akufo-Addo's claim on inflation.
Inflation came down from nearly 16% to single digits, and it is now just crept over 10%.
This is true. According to the Ghana Statistical Service Consumer Price Index, the year 2016 ended with an inflation of 15.4%, which was the lowest since July 2014. Again, the year-on-year inflation for September 2021 was 10.6%, largely corroborating the claims by the president on inflation. Let's now turn our attention to the claim on Ghana's GDP growth rate for 2016.
2017, the last year of the predecessor government, rate of growth of the economy, 3.4%, the lowest in over 20 years.
The president's claim on the 2016 GDP being 3.4% is true, but the claim about this being the lowest in over 20 years is false. The lowest growth rate in the period under review was 2.1% recorded in 2015. According to the World Bank's national accounts data. The president further made claims about growth rate in 2017 and 2018.
Our first year rate of growth was over 8%. Second year, 7%.
The claim that the growth rate for 2017 was 8% is true, but the president's claim that growth rate for 2018 was 7% is false. According to the Statistical Service's annual GDP growth rate report for 2013 to 2020, it was rather 6.2%.
Okay, so if you love to buy your food by the roadside, what you're about to see might just be a little startling. Imagine your favorite fried rice being cooked in a dirty environment. And as if that's not enough, right by fecal matter. Well, this was the situation at an eatery near the Neoplan station at Circle, right here in Accra, when officials of the AMA stormed the place. My colleague Judith Awatritando was with the team and reports that the shop has been closed down.
I'm here at a guest house at Circle around Neoplan Station. Now, this guest house has been operating since the June 3rd floods without a toilet facility for over 20 occupants, and also it doesn't have a septic tank. And so when people defecate, they come and throw it in a container right by.
Here is a resident that they have shops here, they have a restaurant here, they have a drinking bar here. And there is a suspected guest house here that we want to check. So we are going in there to start our inspection to check the sanitation situation here. What is going on here? What do you do here? So is it your kitchen or your serving room? What do you do here?
I do cook and serve.
So look at what is happening here. This is fresh. This meat just come from the fire. And you yourself have created an unhygienic condition around where you are preparing the food. You get it? So just imagine that where you are preparing the food is in this bad condition. And people are sitting right there waiting for you to come and serve them. Huh? What is happening here? Can you tell us? Look at the condition where you are preparing the food.
I'm preparing the food.
No, where? Look at the sanitation. Where is it in a good condition? Where you are preparing the food?
I'm about to arrange it.
You're about to arrange it, and you are preparing the food under the bad condition. Just look at what is happening. William here. Come. So this is fecal matter. So the fecal matter, flies will come into where the fecal matter is and go and step on the food that you are selling for public consumption. Look at what is happening here. So how many times have we warned you not to sell or not to prepare food here and sell for public consumption? How many times? This is fecal matter. And you don't even mind, and you are selling food, you are preparing your food close to it. Look at what is happening. So we are coming to confiscate all these things because the food that is preparing there is not in a good condition. So we will not allow you to sell it for public consumption. So please, we will confiscate all your items. We will take back to the office. Go and identify a place where it's more hygienic condition. Then we'll come and give you items to go and prepare the food. So please, because we give you several warnings that don't prepare the food here. You could see physics here. Can't you see what is happening there? So how many times should we come and talk to you? The begging will not solve anything. We are talking about the health of the public. So begging AMA will not solve anything. How many? That's what I'm asking. How many times should we come not to come in? Tell you that don't come to sell, prepare the food and sell it here. Because the environmental condition here is not favorable to your activity, but you keep on preparing the food close to where the fecal matter is.
Sir, if you can ask, where exactly is this fecal matter coming from?
This fecal matter is coming from this building. And that's what I'm saying. It's been a very long time that this building has been there. So the septic tank has broken down. But they also keep on using the tank.
So this is human
yes. So from here we'll go and find the landlord and we'll find out what is causing this. Because the thing is blocked. So since the thing is blocked, all the fecal material will just come and stack in there.
Okay, so this is a mini restaurant that is selling food right by fecal matter. And so the food has been sold here for some years now, and according to the AMA, they have visited this area several times and told them to leave or stop cooking here, but they have not done that, and they keep cooking food by fecal matter, human feces, that's going right into a container right by them. And so the AMA is breaking down their facility and stopping them from working with immediate effect.
Guy be our year repower dear no. We are not the home combo.
So for now, no more occupy on even on toilet.
No, the only now outside. I didn't mean station home.
So come. These are fresh feces. You understand? So if they all go outside to go, you know, I'm telling you.
On your own, it's so near tunnel. We know a wood. But you stop woman
in the Siana, one more kind of war for 1 month. No, your mouse are bankrupt away. Next week we are taking the house to court. So that why you are not interested about the if the property don't belong, you are the caretaker. So please take it and communicate to your landlord. We finish our work.
Reporting for Joy News, my name is Judith Awache Tando.
And that's a wrap for the AM News. The AM show continues right after this.